Japan's recent move announcing a new national security strategy earlier this month is getting some mixed reactions from international leaders. Allies of Japan, including Canada, the US, and Australia, are supporting the new strategy, while those looking to gain more dominance in the region, including China, are expressing concern. Experts say that this new plan would allow Japan to play a stronger role in regional and global security affairs. Well, joining us now to give us more insight into Japan's national security strategy and what this means for Canada's efforts in the Indo-Pacific is Dr. Kyoko Kuwahara, research fellow at the Japan Institute of International Affairs and visiting fellow at the Macdonald Laurier Institute. Dr. Kuwahara, welcome back to Forum Daily.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
So let's start with a brief overview of the new national security strategy and what kind of new capabilities it would allow Japan to have.
Oh, yes, Japan understands that it is facing the most severe security environment since the Second World War, as we've been witnessing some concerns piling up, such as China's expansion of military power, North Korea's nuclear developments, and Russian invasion in Ukraine, as well as a power balance shift in the Pacific region. In that sense, in order to respond to those environmental changes and to protect itself, Japan has determined to update its conventional security strategy to adapt itself to the current security environments and to address more security cooperation and collaboration with the United States, Canada, and other partners for a wider range of deterrence against any other security threats.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the missile capabilities involved in this national security plan, especially considering the multiple missile tests in the region?
Oh, yes, Japan's counter-strike capability has been gaining attention in that sense. The new counter-strike capability is not just about the ballistic missile defense. According to the strategy or Japanese government, Japan will develop its defense capabilities to the point that at which it will be able to disrupt or defeat invasion and against Japan itself much earlier and at the further distance. So this means that it is not only for the ballistic missile defense, but also for disrupting invasion or aggression against Japan itself. So this might change Japan's conventional definition of defense-oriented policy in the future.
So, what does this mean for Japan's overall role in the Indo Pacific in terms of security, especially compared to its previous role with its self defense only post war principle?
Oh, yes, Japan's understanding on the current security environment in the Pacific region, it's not just about China, Russia, or North Korea threats in themselves. Japan is concerned about any other aggression or actions posed by those countries, which is their challenges to the international order. So Japan recognizes the growing security threats and the concerns piling up in the Pacific region. And I would say that Japan doesn't regard these three countries as a threat in themselves. And Japan is more cautious about any other actions, behavior, which challenge to the international order. So at the same time, in that point, in that sense, this new system will enable Japan to deter aggression if it cooperates with the United States and other partners. So in other words, it will be part of the international society deterrence as a whole.
Lots of developments to keep our eyes on, Dr. Kuwahara. A little over a minute left here, but I want to bring this back to Canada. So I know in November, Canada released a long-delayed Indo-Pacific strategy. It particularly highlights China's efforts in the region. So how would Japan's new security strategy complement Canada's particular goals in the region?
Yes, at the point, Japan will host next year, 2023 G7 summit as a chair country. So this will be maybe a great opportunity both for Japan and for Canada. So Japan is willing to cooperate more with Canada. And in the Indo-Pacific strategy, the word Japan is actually mentioned 25 times. So which is more than the number of mentions of any other countries or region. So now Japan is trying to cooperate more with its partners and Canada under this new security strategy. So in that sense, both countries could be a natural partner in that region and will be able to do together more for peace and stability in the region.
Another informative interview. Dr. Kuwahara, thank you again for joining us today on Forum Daily.
Thank you.